I'm a firm believer in what you said about one size does not fit all curriculum. And sometimes we have students that need a lot of remediation, and then we have students that need a lot of acceleration. So next to me is one of my 8th graders. Her name is Bella Nieves. She actually is extremely brilliant, but more than all, she's driven. She's very obedient, she just gets her work done. She loves school, and she doesn't want to leave us, but she already met her requirements to earn an 8A degree, which is phenomenal. She's gonna start in the fall a bachelor's of business with Doral College, and I'm gonna pass over my question for her to ask you.
Good morning, Commissioner Diaz. So the question is, students are now taking advantage of dual enrollment and graduating high school, now even with a completed bachelor's degree. How can we extend funding like grants, scholarships, or even Bright Futures to continue their education to pursue another degree like a second bachelor's degree?
Yeah, and I think what you have, congratulations on the achievements, first of all, it's incredible. I think what you've done is you've uncovered a new possibility, right? And how do we lay down the track for that opportunity? Because that's not something that we're used to. It's not something we've seen before. But just because it's different doesn't mean it's not an opportunity we should pursue. And I think that's a conversation with the legislature to look at, hey, we have students, we're now at the point where everybody's kind of comfortable and has knowledges that a lot of our students get AA degrees, right? They graduate with an AA degree along with their high school diploma, and that's been phenomenal. I think when you start having the conversation about students getting further along, I think it's, number one, it's mind-blowing. It's hard for people to wrap their head around it. But I do think it's a conversation, and I think you can be an ambassador for that, because I think for changes that happen, especially in the legislature, people need to see people, right? They need to see, legislators are people, and they need to see, you hear stories, but having the opportunity to meet you and hear your story, that is going to ignite the flame. And what you need is a champion, right? You get a legislator, it's like the dog on a bone, right? With wanting to make changes. That's how big things happen in this state. And I think your story, as, I don't know if you're up to it or if you're a little bit shy, but I think your story needs to be shared in Tallahassee. And honestly, I think it needs to be shared in the halls of Congress in Washington, D.C., because I think we need to open up to the possibility that, again, I go back to an earlier question we have, is when we set the bar, the possibilities are endless. You just have to have an open mind to it. And when we see an opportunity with a student like yourself, we have to have those conversations, because sometimes people aren't ready for these new ideas because they can't wrap their head around it, right? You're sitting there, you're gonna tell somebody that you're gonna have a bachelor's degree before you graduate, and then, what do you do next, right? What do you do next is you have so many opportunities. It's boundless what you can do, but I think you also have the opportunity to have a role as an ambassador for kids that are in this situation to open up that new pathway. And having that conversation with decision makers, I think, is incredibly important, because when you see stories firsthand, you get that feedback. It can open your mind, it can change your mind, it can drive determination to make changes. And again, we are the education state. There's no reason why we shouldn't lead on this, but it takes a spark, it takes an inspiration, and I think you have the opportunity to do that. So I hope you'll take us up on that. We'll certainly be happy to connect you and get you going on that path.